So today we're going to go over how to shoot urban prone, how to set up for urban prone, and the reasons why you might do it. You might have heard the term urban prone before. It essentially means that you've taken your gun and you're turning it sideways so you can shoot under something through a narrow slot, that type of thing. It used to be used and it has been used for shooting with a bolt action rifle as well. It's definitely a little more complicated setting up a bolt action rifle because of wanting to shoot a little further distances and stuff like that. So to set up your rifle so that you can go and shoot urban prone, it's very, very simple. You literally just need to go and zero your gun. Once you've zeroed your gun, you need to go and find out what the offset is when you turn it 90 degrees left or right. I moved up into the center here and went urban prone. So tip the gun over 90 degrees. And this is where I impacted over here. I'll take a quick picture of this. I'm gonna run it through the app and see what I get for my offset. And then I'll be able to put that into my ballistics app and sort out what my offset is for 100 yard zero. So we're gonna go through real quick how to actually pull the information off your target and how to take that information and put it into your Kestrel or your ballistic app. So to measure our offsets, we ended up using the Ballistic X app to do this. The reason I went with this is because it's very, very accurate and gives us a very concise number. You can get the same information if you go take a tape measure and just measure it as accurately as you possibly can by measuring up and then over to your original point of aim. Because you're not going to be likely using this urban prone position very often, it is a good idea to go and create another secondary profile for that gun. You don't want to go and adjust these parameters within your standard profile you've already created and then forget about it and go out and shoot and have a lot of misses and struggle with it. Okay, so we're in the Kestrel app here. I'm going to go in and create a new profile. I'm going to name this, let's go and name it 6 CM Urban. Go select from my bullet library, Hornady 108 ELDM. Let's use the custom curve for this right now. Muzzle velocity that I'm running on this gun is 3103 average. Got a zero height of 100. My bore height over bore is actually going to be set to 0 because we're turning the gun sideways. So now your height over bore is 0, and your zero height is going to be -3. Sorry, I might have to do this in the actual Kestrel when I get it done. So 3.32. Offset is going to be -2.82. My twist rate is 8, and everything else is my normal setup here. So mils, and I'll go and save this, save the profile. I will go now, when you have it saved, if you are running a Kestrel, you just go and push this into your Kestrel, and I'm going to put amend, and now I'm going to have it in my Kestrel here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go and grab the gun here, so the 6 Creedmoor Urban. We've got it set at the muzzle velocity is correct, the bullet weight 0 is correct, now it's just in yards, and our height over bore is set at 0. A 0 height is -3.32. 0 offset is 2.82. So those are correct, and everything else looks proper. So one thing to look out for when you are doing this is that likely you're going to be turning your gun to the left if you're right-handed, so you can have your port side up, and you're going to want to go negative for these numbers. If you are left-handed and you want to turn your gun to the right, these will be a positive number. So there is a really quick, easy way to make sure you actually did this properly without even taking a shot. What you're going to want to do is set your target distance to your 0 distance. So right now that is 109 yards for us. On here, you're going to want to go into your wind, and you're going to want to go and make this 0. Okay. And then right now, to hit that 100-yard zero, you're going to need to go up 0.84 and you're going to need to go right 0.72. So we know those are the numbers we need to have to hit our zero in the center of our target. If we don't do that, we'll hit low and left. So to confirm this, we'll go into the actual gun, because when we did these offsets, we did them in inches, and now we have them in mil calculation. You can go into this offset and go and change this to mils, and go and change this one to mils. And that is the exact same thing we were told in the main screen that we need to have. So we need to come up 0.84 and we need to go right 0.72. So that's what you can do even before you take your first shot to confirm that you have done the calculations correct. One of the crucial factors for this is making sure that you do have a leveled reticle in your scope. You have a good level on your gun, like say using LRA. And when you do go 90, you need to be able to tell that you are actually 90 degrees as well. And that's a nice thing also about the LRA is when you go that 90 degrees, it switches to the vertical version and it tells you if you're plumb or not. So to confirm your offsets are correct, you're going to want to turn your rifle sideways again and shoot it at 100 yards. And your group now should be repositioned to where your original zero was, or your original aiming point was. If it has not gone to exactly where that point is, then you've either input something wrong or you've held wrong. So one of the other factors you got to figure out on this is when you turn it sideways, now your windage turret is actually your elevation turret, and your elevation turret is now your windage turret. With that being said, we have zero stops on a lot of these rifles. So I know, for example, on the rifle we have set up here with a Razor Gen 3, I can only go 0.5 low, and I need about a 0.7 hold to the right. So when I go to shoot at distance, I'm not going to play with my zero. I'm just going to know that I need to hold an additional 0.2 right. If I was going to do this on a regular basis, maybe I would change it. But for now, this is something that might pop up in a stage or something you want to do just for a challenge to see if you can do it or not. And you know, I don't want to adjust my zeros for something like this. We're going to go and try and shoot it at distance and see how it does. In theory, it should all come together and we should be able to hit our steel downrange. Yeah, that works. That's definitely good. I'll try and move over to the smaller target there and see if we can get on that one as well. Yeah, the calculations worked. It's easy enough to figure out. And I'm going to try and go and shoot it at, I think I got one out there at 520 or 530. So I'll just range it real quick here and we'll try that one. The awkwardness of this is something that you might want to try one time, or, you know, see, maybe try it once a year when you're practicing. Definitely, like, the way your hand has to sit and then getting positioned on that trigger is a little awkward, and then obviously having to float your face with nothing there to line it up with the optical. Definitely within reason for factory ammo and an awkward position. So we'll go to the smaller target and see what happens here. Yeah, so that's hitting on a 10-inch plate, so 2 MOA target down there, urban prone. It's definitely doable. Something to give a try, something fun to do. Yeah, check it out, try it out.